Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so if you are trying to use the orchestrator for your project, you may consider to study these kind of tools. Okay, I think they have pretty clear instruction to tell you how to use these tools. Okay, like here it says how to install the OSM, and how to set up the virtual infrastructure managers, and how to deploy it. Your first network service, and how to update the virtual network function instance in a network service. Okay, understand day 1, day 2 operations, monitor, and auto scaling. Okay, auto scaling. Remember, we have been talking about the network right here. Right. Okay, so like this, you may need to consider auto scaling to provide the sufficient bandwidth. Right. Okay, so there is some function I haven't tried, but they are all related to the network slicing, like how to deploy it, network slicing. Okay, this is example of use. This example use network slicing require accept resources. Okay, VNF. Right. So here is here they give examples The diagrams below shows network slicing template create for the example as is shown in the picture. The three network slice subnets are connected by virtual network. Okay, understand? You may do something like this to perform what is said in our lecture. So if this can explain your questions, I mean the connection between lecture and the hands-on. Because for your project can be very varied. I mean, the topic is very diverse. So you may just choose some tools that you may need. Okay. First, when you are trying to do something, you need to have motivation. You want to achieve something, right? So for these examples, we are going to use network slicing technique to provide a good quality of service. Okay. So once the user's number increases, the system will be able to automatically to scaling up. So you don't need to recompute. This is quite important concept and technique once you are going to set up a network for a company. Okay, so I think there is more information they show here. Okay, like this. But of course, if you want to use it, you have to install the software first. You can come to the top, quick start, install. Okay, so let's see. So I think we have been go through the most important part of the network slides. Okay. It's related to the distributed cloud concept because you have to pull the service nearby you. Okay, so that's RUDUCU we mentioned earlier. Okay, so we know that's a 4G network slicing. We know requirements, and everything is based on service level agreements. Okay, but what's the service level agreements? So they have where were new operators revenue in 5G come from? I think for 5G, the operators, their new revenue should come from the enterprise, but not the consumer. Okay. For consumer, I think everyone has cell phone already. You are not going to have a 2 or 3 cell phone. Right? Okay, so for the enterprise, the enterprise users, they will require more for customer chain or service, especially something like public safety system, transportations, traffic. Okay, here give us the information for the new value creation through the network slicing, that including manufacturing, transportation, healthcare, care, and sports, entertainments, public safety, mining, power industries. So the things we learned in the 5G class can be applied in these 7 areas. Okay, here provide us more informations. Okay, so that's a question I had asked you. How many slides you feel? How many slides? You are going to set up a network. We just introduced the tools, right? How many? But if the tools with auto scaling function, well, probably you don't need to worry about to configure the 100 slides, right? Because they are automatically configured, right? Okay, so you don't need to worry about, you don't have enough manpower to maintain the systems. But like we know in 5G, in 4G, we may have 5 to 8 slides. For 5G, it's automatically, so we can have as many slides as we want. But actually, nobody can tell you how many slides you should have. There is no many, real case to show us so far. Okay, so there is more information here, but I think we are running out of time. I would like to, well, you can go to check some requirements. Okay, but I think I explained this already, and here a bit about the code. So let's go back to our textbook. The textbook, chapter 4, the textbook used to give us more fundamental things. Once you are going to construct a system, you may need to come to check the textbook. Okay, I would like to suggest you to use the textbook like the handbook, right? When you are designing something, you need your handbook to find some data. For example, if you are electronics engineers or mechanical engineer, usually you have a design handbook or design guideline. Some books. So it's something like that. In our class, I don't ask you to go through all the contents, but you may need to know some basic things. Like this is a protocol stacks. Okay, so here will tell you how the layers or the stacks of the control panel, the user panel. I think everyone know the OSI, right? From bottom to the top, processing, data link, and TCP/IP layer, application layer, the 7 layers of OSI. For 5G, I think we have been mentioned this already, right? For the network, you probably may not need to remember all the layers. I think it's not necessary. When you need it, you just come to check. But we know the control panel, control plane, it has the stack like this. Okay, so, but how does the interface works is you will transmit to with N11. Okay, but how can I know the N11? how can I access the data quickly? I know you can check this in the textbook, but there's an easiest way. I told you on the first day of our class. Remember? I mean, if you are going to find the terminology, you come to our Moodle and you can go to the where? You can come to the week 1. Okay, so there's a NetX, right? So you click on this, so you will come to the NetX. Remember this? Okay, so if you click this, it will tell you the functions. Remember? Okay, like a SMF, section management function, and UPF stands for user plan function for enforcement. Okay. PCF may be standalone or combined into a single PCF or PCI node. Okay. So once you are going to construct a network and you did not know the terminology, you can come to check this. Okay, so here, that's N11. On quite this. AMF, by AMF. Access, mobility function, right? Okay, so you want to know more information, you can click on this. And what is the SMS? Section management function. So you can click on it, so you can see section management functions. Section function of the 5G core network. The SMF is responsible for establishment, modification, and termination of user data section across the network, including being part of notification, paging process. Okay? So let's look at this. AMF is access and mobility and management function. Okay, functional element of the 5G core network. So AMF provides mobility, reachability, and connection management control service with capability to exchange NAS-based control traffic with mobile via the GMB, the next generation Node B. Okay, that's a radio stations. Okay, so as you can see, the AMF may link to different functions with different interface, like NB, N11, NB, right? So you can go to check what it is. This will link to okay, that's a green line. Okay, so you can check for different interface that will be used to access different functions. Like this one, N2. What is it? N2? That's trust non-3GPP gateway function. Okay. So Now you know how to use this, right? Actually, we introduced this on the first day. Hey, what? Chapter. That would be for next week. Sorry. Okay, so in the textbook, there is information for the functions, like this network function service authorization. There's a lot. Okay, so we go back to so the network slicing is important, and we there is some information with multi-access edge computing. That's part of the distributed cloud. That's it. It's trying to make you easier to access the data. And in 4.9, talking about the data storage architecture, network capability exposure, because you do have many functions, right? So you need to be able to find these. So there is functions to help you to find the functions. And the interworking and the migration, because we do have a different type of radio, right? So we may have 4G, and 5G. And the non-3GPP access, and I just showed you, fixed mobile convergence network function service framework. IMS as service is like we call industrials, medical, and the science service, like police or the ambulance. They use these channels. That's called unlicensed frequency. It's free, but it's for public safety. You cannot occupy these. So you need to have a permission to use some channel in certain area. Like if you have some radios which can receive the police radio stations, you can maybe you can listen, but you cannot talk in these channels. And for emergency service, your cell phone. I mean, in Taiwan, even though you don't have a package with a telephone company, but you still can call the emergency service. I think in Taiwan it's 99112. For example, you are foreigner, right? So you may not have any contract with any mobile network operators, right? Or you just log out all the money in your account, so you cannot make a call, but you still can make an emergency call. In Taiwan, it's a 112. Okay, you still can make a call for free. And the local service, short message service, that's text service. And the public warning system. In Taiwan, probably you may receive some earthquake alert. If anyone receive that earthquake alert, the government will release this kind of public warning system. You haven't received this? No? I think probably last week we do have earthquake, right? And even you watch TV, they do have alert messages. Okay, and the protocol step. While you can check that, I just show you the charging, and that's all for the network architecture. Okay, but what have you found? What's the difference between 4G, 5G network architecture to 4G? You can see they cover all radio communication channels, including IMS, including the short message service, including local service, including emergency service, everything. Because the 5G is going to monitor or even control all the radio. So 5G is not just a 5G, it will including Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, everything you use radio to communicate, to transmit the data. Okay? So that's chapter 4. I think that's all for today's lecture. Okay, if you want to know more the functions, it's the easier way is I just show you. You go to the NetX. Okay, so you will be able to find, for example, you are going to construct a 4G network. You start with this, right? If you are going to work with the 3G, here will tell you what's the 3G elements. Okay, if you are going to work with IoT, right? So you can start with some functions they show here. Understand? Or you see here has a vehicle to access data network. So you click on here, so you know everything, the elements that you need. Got it? And this is a 5G core network. So that's all elements that you may need to construct a network like this, a big network. And the tools we have to just show is this, open source. Okay, so we have about 1.5 hours that. So we may have an exercise for the 5G, free 5G call. I don't know, maybe we should teach mono to instead of 5G, free 5G call. Because this can conduct some like network slicing. You can create the virtual network functions with this tool.